What's going on, my fellow collectors? Jim here with another figure review, and today we're taking a look at the Neca Godzilla from 1954. Very neat. I've been eyeballing these Godzilla figures, every time I'm at Toys R Us. So I went ahead and picked one up. They don't have my particular version, and I don't even think it was a movie, but I remember Godzilla fighting, what was it, like Ultraman or something like that? I guess it wasn't a Godzilla movie because I tried looking for it and I didn't see it online, so it must have been like some series that they had on TV back then where Godzilla fought, I think his name was Ultraman. I don't know, I'll try to throw some pictures up, but the packaging is a big, huge clamshell, and something about this Godzilla just reminds me of that era, even though I don't think, I know there has to be differences, because I know Godzilla did pretty much look like this, for a certain amount of time, and then he changed over the times, and now he looks completely different, which I kind of lean more towards this old-fashioned head with just the big eyes and the wide head. So, but yeah, the packaging is cool. You get the Godzilla down here, Godzilla 1954, 14 and up. Get a little image in the background there. This is just a big, huge clam. In the back, you got this really cool image of the figure. Neca, all that good stuff. Doesn't have anybody responsible for making the figure on the packaging. But yeah, that is the packaging. Let's go ahead and crack this open and take a closer look. Okay, here he is out of the packaging, and this is a cool Godzilla figure, but there are some things that I don't really like about it, especially the tail. I don't know what it is, but I'm not liking the tail. It came in two separate pieces in the packaging. This is one solid piece that has the cuts of articulation like up here, but they're all sculpted, so there's no movement from here on down. And then it connects to a ball joint here, and then we do have some articulation on this part of the tail. But this was a pain in the ass to get in there. A huge pain in the ass to get on that ball joint. So I didn't like that. And also it just, maybe over time as it kind of warps and bends, it'll be a little bit better. But as of now, it really kind of pushes him forward. I've messed with it a little bit and it's gotten better. But at first it was like so far down that it was always making him hunch over like this. But now it's kind of bending and getting him to stand a little bit more straight up. But yeah, it's a cool looking figure. Especially if you like this era of Godzilla. Like I said, which isn't more or less the era that I remember, but it's kind of the closest looking version. I don't know if Neca actually has a version from, the 80s. I'm sure they do. But like I said, I wanted to pick one up, and this was the closest look to the, the era that I remember of Godzilla, with just the cool looking head sculpt. He's got a really cool head sculpt on this guy. I like the big eyes. And of course we do have this articulation here at the mouth, so that's cool. It's not really much, but it is a little hinge that just allows it to open up. Nice, awesome sculpting just all throughout it, of course, and more or less it's black and white, but the white has like a much gray shading going on all over it. But yeah, it's pretty cool looking, man. I like the sculpting detail here in the chest, and then of course he's got his big old legs. And you have his claws down here at his feet, which are done in like a gray. So that looks cool. And yeah, I'm digging all of these, all of these spines back here. I think they look awesome. Very cool. You get like 3 rows of them. And then down to this tail, of course. And there's a decent amount of articulation on this guy as well. Like I said, with the tail, all of these points do rotate. So you got, the initial rotation here, and then each one of these, well, I'm sorry, these are connected, and then that will rotate, and then that will rotate. So every 2 will rotate. And then you get to this point that you do have to put in out of packaging, which is, doesn't have any articulation other than the ball joint is connected to. But this is a little bit on the soft side, but not much. But it is a little bit soft where you can kind of bend it. So nice movement with the tail. You do have movement here in the, mid waist. So you get rotation out of that. A little bit of forward and back movement, not much, but a little bit. A little bit of side to side as well. So that's cool. And of course for the legs, they go forward and back pretty much. They do kind of, hinge in and out a little bit. Looks like there's movement at the knee, but you're not going to get much out of that at all. I guess you're more or less just going to get rotation there at the knee. a little bit of forward and back, but really not much. I mean, the sculpt is more or less just going to always crash. And then for the foot, you do have a rotation, and you do have a little bit of up and down movement, and a little bit of side to side movement as well. For the arms, we do have rotation there at the shoulder, and then you have rotation there at the elbow. You have a hinge, so I mean, you can kind of bring it out that much, and then kind of bring it actually a nice little bit in. And then of course you have rotation at the hands. And then you have hinge here at the fingers, so you can kind of bring his fingers in, all three of them, just to give him a more or less a fist looking. The thumb does not rotate or anything, but that's pretty cool. So you get nice movement at that. You do have this movement at the neck, so you get, you know, movement out of that, and then you get movement up here at the head as well. You do get a little bit of forward and back. Not much though, but I mean, you get a little bit of movement with both of those, so you can get them looking up about that much. If you really force it, you can get them looking really down. And then of course that does, you know, go side to side. And then we do have the hinge for the mouth. So yeah, I mean, overall, not bad, man. You get some nice little movement with this guy. He's gonna look cool up on the shelf. Like I said, his scale is a little weird, just because, you know, with the average, you know, 6-inch figure, he's gonna be, you know, just way out of scale. You know, so he's gonna look a little bit funny in your collection, I guess. He's not gonna be, you know, very, very big. He's gonna be about the same size as your other figures if you're, you know, if you collect a lot of, you know, 1/12 scale figures. As far as his measurements go, it looks like, and of course, you know, he's hunched over, but it looks like he's, yeah, about 6.5 inches tall. Looks like he's almost 7.5 inches long to where the back of his tail goes. But I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, for a Godzilla figure, it's pretty cool. You got some nice articulation in it as well. So if you do collect the different, you know, Godzillas, this might be one that you want to pick up if you like this old classic style looking figure. You know, it is pretty neat, and we do get some cool movements. I do wish it came with some effects, because I know there is a Godzilla out there that comes with this really nice blue effect that you can put out of his mouth. So that would have been nice to get some effects with this guy. But I mean, for just a nice little Godzilla for the shelf, he is going to do. But yeah, that was a look at the NECA 1954 Godzilla figure. Very cool. Like I said, there are some things that I don't like the, you know, I wish we could get some accessories. The tail is a little bit annoying, but, you know, for what it is at, you know, $20 price point, can't be too mad at it. But that was a look at it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next figure review.